Hey guys, as part of our Ask the RVers mini-series, our next question we asked is, what is your favorite RV app? So stay tuned and come right back, because we're going to hear from those 10 RVers and then you're going to hear our take. So you come on back. But I wanted to tell you my favorite is the Gas Buddy, because one thing you don't want to do when you're traveling with these big RVs or you're towing is looking for fuel in unfamiliar places. So Gas Buddy is an app that you can just click on it and your location, and it pulls up if you want diesel, if you want food or whatever. It's a really helpful app, Gas Buddy. Now Dan, what are yours?
Well, my favorite's probably a little bit different than most people's. It's through Allstates and it's called CRV Military. And what it is, it's a very well compiled list of all the military fam camps in every state with a review system, with a star system that tells you how many stars they have. It gives you a very precise coordination to get to the fam camp. It also tells you what they have for amenities, how many sites and things like that. So there's a ton of information, especially if you're going to take the opportunity to stay at a military fam camp. Now my second one is another little known app. It's called RV Parky, and it's been in existence for quite a while. A lot of people probably don't use it, but I started using it 6 years ago and I still use it today. It shows up as a map system, and you can just click on a little icon, and that little icon will tell you the name of the park, what its cost is with little dollar signs, a single dollar sign being fairly inexpensive, with $4 signs being fairly expensive. But it also has good information about each park, and it's something that I really have gone back to time and time again. So those are my two favorite apps.
Okay.
Oh, the favorite RV app would certainly be Campendium. And if there was a second app, would be Free Camping. Those are the two that I use. And the other app I use a lot is finding out about the weather. And that's very key in terms of traveling for many reasons. And so I would have to say 3 is what I use quite often.
Our favorite app that we use the most, I think, is Campendium. It's a really great resource to find not only boondocking spots, but also paid campgrounds if that's what you prefer. And when we go into a lot of towns where we just don't know where to start, and Campendium is a great way to find what's there, and then manage how much you're spending when you do land somewhere. If you actually support Campendium through a donation, not only can you get some swanky swag, but you can also get a little bit more information with the app because you're an official member, such as what kind of cellular service you'll get at a particular location, which is really important to us.
So my favorite RV app is Campendium. I use a few other ones to find spots if I need to, but honestly, Campendium's had all the spots that I've needed. It's great to find RV parks and boondocking spots, and since that's really what we do as a mix, it's basically my go-to. I may use 1 or 2 other ones, probably 6 times a year. Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Gosh, our favorite app, I think, has got to be Gas Buddy. Just because we were in a situation just down off of I-10 where there was $1.20 a gallon difference, and there was 3 miles between gas stations. If we'd have just pulled right off the freeway and gotten gas in this particular location, instead of pulling into town, there was truly $1.20 a difference in a gallon of diesel.
This is a pretty good app too.
The Van Life app, that's just, it's new. I know the reviews haven't been that good on it out there just because it is getting going, but we're we're grateful to be part of the van life, and it's a community for us to come together. Because a lot of our last 5 years have just been alone. It's just Helen and I going out and exploring. We've seen a lot of the famous lighthouses on the East Coast. We've done the Great Lakes. There's a lot of lighthouses up on the Great Lakes. We've been just a lot of fun little parks and just situations that we've been in. But it's just been the two of us now that we've found this community, and it's not just the van life community.
Oh, my favorite RV app, that would have to be the Ultimate RV Checklist. This was an idea that I had about 2 years ago, and really there wasn't an online version of an app specific to RVers, and I thought it'd be a fun project to put it together, and found a good programmer, and he and I have been working together to bring it to market. It's not going to make us rich. It's more of a passion project and a fun experiment, but we're having a good time. We're making a couple of dollars off of it, enough to make it worthwhile to keep running. But the idea behind the app was really for people who were brand new to RVing, didn't have any clue what they need to do when they get to the campgrounds. It's set up so that there's preset lists depending on what type of RV, whether it's a travel trailer, a motorhome, or a fifth wheel. It even works with the tow cars. But then the next step of the app is you can customize it. So as you get a little more proficient and have set up your rig a few times, you can change your routine, change it on the app, add stuff, take away stuff. And it's designed to grow with you as you spend more time in your RV. And now I'm a full-timer, and I still use it whenever I move, or whenever I check in or set up camp, or take down my camp. It just makes sure you don't miss any of those crucial steps along the way.
My favorite RV app, I think, is, I think I have two of them actually. freecampsites.net for our boondocking. And I recently downloaded iExit, which helps a lot try to find what you need in the future stops, if we need gas or food or whatnot. So that helps a lot. What's yours?
I think one of my favorite is actually, and I don't know if I'm actually pronouncing it right, is travel map software called Fur Coat.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mapping software. You can, if you pay the premium, it's a couple bucks. I forget exactly what it was, but it's a mapping software that ties to Google Maps. It ties, in fact, Campendium is now referenced on Fur Coat. So it will highlight the different Campendium locations along your road. So that makes it really nice. It breaks our days up. We put in that we want to do 200 miles, and it automatically says, okay, start looking for a spot here, or and it just really makes planning really easy.
But two that come to mind are Campendium, which is just a wonderful app for finding places to camp and stay. It's a crowdsourced app where folks like myself and others have been to those places, and they write a review and post pictures, and it is just for me, it's the best of those kinds of camping apps. I also like the Ultimate RV Checklist, which is a good app for being able to make sure that I set up and tear down my rig properly, and I like it in part because my rig's different than others, and so it's customizable, so I can make it work for what I have, and then an old man like me doesn't forget to do some things that you need to do when you're setting up and breaking down your camp.
What's your favorite?
Seeing as you're the trip planner, you tell us first.
I don't know that I have one favorite. I kind of use a suite of them because I feel like they all offer different things. So I like Allstays, and I also use Campendium if we want to do some boondocking. And I know you like Coverage. Why?
Yeah, no, for me, coverage is probably the biggest key, just because working on the road, we both kind of need internet at all places. So. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, besides Camp Addict, I use Campendium, both the app and the website, a tremendous amount. I guess for trip planning purposes, even though trip planning just means looking at a general area and finding a boondocking spot.
I'd say the most I use, actually I go back to my own website, campaddict.com, to remember things that I have researched before and forget. App-wise, I use probably campendium.com the most, because that's how we find boondocking spots the most. There's freecampsites.net, but they seem to not do lengths very well on rigs, so I never really know whether it's a tent spot or if I'm gonna fit or not. So Campendium is definitely the best one for that.
Yeah, my favorite RV app is probably Campendium, or any of the other apps that show you campgrounds and places to camp at, and dump stations.
Well, Dan, it looks like the basic consensus is what the favorite RV app is Campendium, which I have to agree. I mean, anytime we are choosing where to go, the first place we go is Campendium, because they are member opinions, and you can read what their reviews are. You can find out Wi-Fi signal. You can find out, in the location, is it
just tons of information. It's nice when you get it latitude and longitude like that too. It's easy to find the exact spot that they're recommending for you.
Yes, and the Campendium has RV parks, Corps of Engineers, even boondocking and dispersed camping.
Yeah.
So it looks like Campendium was the winner there. Okay, and then together, I think one of our big favorites is the Harvest Host. Now that is a membership based app. You have to join. I think it's $79 a year. You could add a few more dollars for the golf course.
Sure.
But it also is a map oriented, where if you're traveling through an area and you have a current membership, you could click and there's different icons for wineries and for golf courses or museums and farms. You can find where you want to go, and then once you click on that icon, it brings up the actual establishment, and you can find out how big an RV will fit, how many RVs will fit, their hours of operation, just a whole bunch of information. And the one thing with that though, and you've seen me do this, is we always call ahead of time to make sure they have room for us. So those are our, 2 for you, 2 for me, and another one. Those are our 5 favorite apps, along with those other apps that our other RVers have recommended. So, thank you for watching, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned for more. And as we say, underway is the only way.